Good morning, students. So, earlier we have studied about high carbon steel, low carbon steel and medium carbon steel. Today we are going to study about classification of high alloy. So, what is high alloy and what is that classification? So, first classification is the tool steel. So, what is tool steel? Tool steel refers to a variety of carbon and alloy steels that are particularly well suited to be made into tools. It means the tool steel is the combination of carbon percentage and the combination of the alloy steels also. Their suitability comes from their distinctive hardness, resistance to abrasion, their ability to hold a cutting edge, and their resistance to deformation at elevated temperatures. So it means the tool steel have the properties of hardness, the abrasion properties, to ability to hold a cutting edge properties, the deformation properties, and the deformation of temperature properties. The tool steel is generally used in a heat-treated state. Many high carbon tool steels are also more resistant to corrosion due to their higher ratios of elements such as vanadium, with a carbon content between 0.7% and 1.5%. So, the vanadium is the correct example or the most important example of tool steel who has the combination of carbon and alloy steel both, and the corrosion resistance properties is very high in this material with a carbon content between 0.7% and 1.5%. Tool steels are manufactured under carefully controlled conditions to produce the required quality. And our next is stainless steel. It is also a high alloy steel. This is the classification of high alloy steel, that is stainless steel. The stainless steel does not readily corrode, rust or stain with water as ordinary steel does. But despite the name, it is not fully stain proof, most notably under low oxygen, high salinity or poor circulation environments. The stainless steel have the corrosion resistance power, has the high corrosion resistance power, that it has no rust or no stain of the resin of water. So there are different grades and surface finish of stainless steel to suit the environment the alloy must endure. Stainless steel is used where both the properties of steel and corrosion resistance are required. As the stainless steel has a high corrosion resistance power, the steel properties also in the state of stainless steel. The next point is the stainless steel differs from carbon steel by the amount of chromium present. So, this is the advantages and disadvantages of alloy steel, that is. So, the important advantages and disadvantages in the choice of alloy steel from the general point of view in the relation to plain carbon steel are listed in this tabulation. So, what are the advantages? The first is that may be attained the greater hardenability properties. Hardenability is the properties of a material. So, it has to be the greater hardenability. Then the less distortion and cracking properties. Greater stress relief at given hardness. The fourth one is less grain growth. The fifth one is higher elastic ratio and endurance strength. Then greater high temperature strength, better machinability at high hardness, greater ductility at high strength. And the disadvantages may be encountered as the cost is very high. Special handling means its maintenance is very difficult. Tendency towards austenite retention, temper brittleness in certain grades. Then this is the purpose of alloying: strengthening of the ferrite, improved corrosion resistance, better hardenability. As we know, the better hardenability is the advantages of the alloy steel: grain size control, greater strength, improved machinability, improved ductility, improved toughness. Those are the machinability, ductility and the toughness, as we have studied earlier, that those are the properties of the material. Then better wear resistance, improved cutting ability, improved case hardening, improved high or low temperature stability. Those are the purpose of alloying, means why we are using, or why it makes us to make the alloy steel. So this is our purpose of alloying. So the reason of the purpose of alloying, that is the effect of alloying elements, means if the carbon is there, carbon content in steel affect hardness, tensile strength, machinability, melting point. As there nickel also, we are using the nickel material. So nickel, what is the effect of nickel? Nickel increases the toughness and resistance to impact, or lessens distortion in quenching, lowers the critical temperatures of steel, and widens the range of successful heat treatment, strengthens steel, does not unite with carbon. So what is the effect of alloying element in chromium? So likewise, this is also an example of purpose of alloying, that is chromium joins with carbon to form chromium carbide. This adds to depth hardenability with improved resistance to abrasion and wear. Then what is the effect of silicon if we are alloying the elements? Silicon improves oxidation resistance, strengthens low alloy steels, act as a deoxidizer, and the titanium prevents localized depletion of chromium in stainless steel during long heating, or prevents formation of austenite in high chromium steels, or reduces martensitic hardness and hardenability in medium chromium steels, etc., etc. And the molybdenum, what is the effect of alloying in molybdenum material? The molybdenum promotes hardenability of steel, makes steel fine graze, makes steel usually tough at various hardness levels, counteracts tendency towards temper brittleness, raises tensile and creeps strength at high temperatures, forms abrasion raising particles. Those are the effect of alloying materials. So next is your types of alloy steel. So we have studied about the high alloy. So this is the alloy steel. One is the low and medium alloy steel. In low and medium alloy steel, alloying element is not exceeding 10%. It means the 10% of alloy steel is there in the alloy steel component. First symbol, that is 100 times the average percentage of carbon. Second, fourth or sixth, etc. symbol, those are the elements. And third, fifth, seventh, etc. symbol, percentage of elements multiplied by factor as follow. So those are the elements and those are the multiplying factor. Last element, that is, it indicates special characteristics in this material. First is high alloy steel. So first is high alloy steel. In high alloy steel, total alloying element is more than 10%. For example, X10, chromium 18, nickel 9, S3. So X high alloy steel contains 10% alloy steel and 0.1% of carbon. Chromium 18 is 18% of chromium. In nickel 9 means 9% of nickel, and S3 is pickled condition, means according to the condition we are able to make, or we are able to produce the high alloy steel.